Um, when I was younger, I was in springboard diving, and so most of my life I was in a swimsuit in front of a lot of people, judges, and I was also a model, so I was, always behind the camera. And in my family, I felt like I always had to be perfect. I didn't ever feel like I measured up to my parents' expectations. And so I felt like with my eating disorder, I could control everything as far as my body. And it wasn't ever about being fat. It was just about control and having the power to say what I wanted and what I didn't want. And it started when I was about, I would say 10 or 11, and it continued until I was 30 years old. And in 2011, I went to Rosewood for the second time, and I've been in recovery ever since. In 2007, I was here, in Rosewood. There were 12 women, no adolescents, no men. It was a very small program. They were just starting Capri. They didn't have IOP. And I wasn't ready to surrender my eating disorder at that time. In 2011, I came back to Rosewood, and I was so tired and so broken and so ready for just like something different than what I was living. I was just so sick, and I just really needed something to change. And so I came to Rosewood in 2011 on my own, and that was, they had women and men, and it was a bigger program, and they had Capri and, PHP and outpatient. And I worked thoroughly on my past and my trauma, and I was able to forgive myself because I realized that I was the prisoner in my own war of life, and I was able to be set free from that. And that was probably ultimately what changed everything for me, was realizing that I had the power to let myself be free from my own stuff. And the freedom that comes from forgiving yourself is just like amazing. I don't have to worry, God's gonna take care of it. And one thing I heard was, it's not about the pain that you have in your past, it's what you do with the pain that you had in your past. And I honestly just wanted to live, I wanted to help others too. I come back to Rosewood and I speak, and that to me is like doing what I feel I need to do with that pain in my past. I had a lot of challenges. I had to wear, I wasn't allowed to talk. And then I also had to, my roommate had to dress me, because I was really, as a model, I had to always look my best. And my roommate made, I had to wear my pajamas, everywhere I went, because my whole life was you gotta be prime and proper and look your best. I remember, when I was younger, my parents wouldn't even let me go on an airplane unless I was in my prettiest dress. And it's just, I was always at my best. And so I, had to wear pajamas for a week, and it was the worst. I really hated it. I felt like I wasn't put together, which I wasn't, but it was really hard for me. Sometimes I still have to do things like that at home, not make my bed, or, not put the dishes in the dishwasher. Sometimes I have to get reminded that everything isn't perfect, and it doesn't have to be. My therapist made me do a puzzle, and I didn't know it at the time, but not all the pieces were there. And so when I put it together, it was so frustrating because not all the pieces were there. And it was part of my lesson of life's a puzzle, but not all the pieces are necessarily going to be there. And that was really hard. I'm in recovery. I've been in recovery since 2011. I'm living in Scottsdale. I'm going back to school next month to be a cosmetologist. I have a dog. She's amazing. I'm doing really well. I believe that recovery and relapse is a choice, and relapse does not have to be a part of recovery. And I believe that that there's always support out there. Like, I tend to see a lot of people on the Rosewood alumni page saying that they're alone and that they have no one to talk to and that they, don't have any resources and all this stuff. But I remind myself every single day I'm not alone because I have God. Like, I'm never alone, no matter what. And, sometimes it's really hard to pick up the phone, but, every single person in the world text messages someone every single day, or they're on social media. So, I just figure, when you're struggling, just do that same thing, text message somebody, whether or not you are even talking to them about your struggles or sobriety, just make contact. And, I personally, I was a chef for 15 years, and cooking is therapy for me. For so long it was, always about making other people happy. But now it's so therapeutic. When I'm having a really rough day, I just go to the kitchen and I start making something, and I just remind myself that the food, or everything, it's a good thing, and this makes me happy. I reach out to people. I go to Codependency Anonymous. That program saved my butt. I hang out with my friends. I watch football with my friends. I take my dog for a walk. There's so many things that can be done, that are recovery focused. And I don't have all good days, that's for sure. But I definitely have more good days than bad.